So the LA Auto Show is happening right now, and we finally got to take a really close look at that husky fella from Canoe, or what they're calling the Lifestyle Vehicle. What's up, motorheads, and welcome back to Gearbox Pizza. So get yourself out of those work clothes, throw on those go-to sweatpants, grab yourself an unopened bag of goldfish along with a beverage of your choice, and get comfortable because we're about to throw some love at this little tugboat of an EV. So this was the first time we've been able to take a close look at this minibus slash SUV or whatever you want to call this thing in person. And to cut straight to the chase, yep, this thing is even cooler in person, which was a bit of a surprise because we already thought this thing was pretty cool to start with. So we'll be taking a closer look at some of the more specific details, and there is plenty. But the first thing we noticed was, well, its size. And I was a bit worried that this thing was going to just be too big, but it's not really this giant ass mega truck kind of thing that everybody seems to be going nuts over these days. The size actually looks perfectly manageable, even for tight city driving, and there's tons of room inside. The wheels are set way out onto the edges of the frame, which makes use of pretty much all available space. So yeah, bottom line, it's like the middle bowl of porridge size-wise. I mean, it's kind of just right. And I'm relieved about this. I mean, if you're looking for a giant EV, there's going to be plenty to choose from. In fact, let me introduce you to a Rivian or, I don't know, like Senor Cybertruck over there. The next thing that really made an impression seeing this thing in the flesh was, well, it's just how cool and comfortable that interior looks to be. I mean, they've been saying things like, you know, quote unquote, a loft on wheels, which really felt like some drummed up like marketing douche talk, but I think they're actually describing it pretty well. The colors and the ambient light just felt really soothing, and with that diner style back seat, I mean, I could just see this as a pretty dope place to just hang out. I mean, just bolt this thing to a cinder block foundation and build yourself like the modernist style outhouse from like several random boxes of IKEA particle board, and boom, you could be Airbnb-ing this thing out to an ocean of hipsters nonstop. And I can see it now, just giant wild beards everywhere, ironic hats and sunglasses as far as the eye can see, marching towards your Airbnb to the tune of some band you've just never heard of. All right, look, getting off on a tangent. All right, anyway. So the doors are middle hinge doors, suicide doors if you prefer that term, which kind of helps this thing feel super open and airy. I mean, this thing would be right at home at the beach, like, I don't know, I guess during a Corona commercial or something. Hell, even tailgating with this thing would be pretty amazing. Go Bucks. On the inside of the rear doors, you have these little seats that swing out, which is a pretty cool touch. Then there's a skateboard rack. I mean, all right, why not, I guess. It is a shame that there's this giant B-pillar though. I mean, how amazing would this be if the doors opened up to this huge unobstructed opening? Look, I'm sure there's plenty of technical and safety reasons why it's not possible, but whatever, it would still be cool. So another thing that really jumps out at you in person is just, well, how iconic those headlights and taillights are. I mean, if this crazy shape of the thing wasn't unique enough, I mean, the lights are just another, just totally awesome touch. Especially in black, the lights pop out and it's literally the first thing you notice. It's also super identifiable, and Canoe will own this shape, and any future vehicles that they might make will instantly look like a Canoe just by having the same headlights and taillights. The wheels are also pretty cool here, and a good size. We got 20s with a pretty large 235 or 45 set of rubber. I'm also kind of digging the design. I mean, so many of these quote unquote aero wheels, well, they really look like they're trying to disguise themselves as just regular wheels, but Canoe's taking a different approach, and they pretty much own the fact that these are aero wheels and they make no apologies about it. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah, some big black platter looking wheels somehow just kind of work on this thing. And this was all smart, and I'm starting to think the designers at Canoe just might be a really talented group of fellas and ladies that deserve a fist bump and a half. Then there's the steering wheel. And in pictures and video, it doesn't look all that unique, but in person, you can really see just how different it is. Look, instinctively, you might think that this is just like another interesting feature that'll look cool on a show car but never make it into production, but as I understand it, this crazy wheel, well, it's here to stay. I dig that the wheel's got a top to it though, so no bizarro yoke thing like you got in the Model S. I mean, even the stocks sticking out the side are sort of bespoke to this interior, and I can't imagine those things are from some parts bin either, so keep that in mind. All these unique and different elements are going to have to be manufactured from scratch, or the production version just might be a tad different, which, you know, is to be expected somewhat. I have to say, seeing this thing in person definitely left an impression on me. I've been following these guys for a while now, and I'll admit that I wasn't really taking them all too seriously. But after, doing a bunch of research, the company and this lifestyle vehicle was really starting to grow on me. Now, it's not exactly easy to see one of these things in person, so I was pretty stoked to hear that they'd be at the auto show. I left the show a bigger fan of this thing than I thought was possible. I mean, it's totally unique, and it's got a style that seems to be really resonating with people. It's mega practical, especially for its size. It has some off-road chops if that's your thing. It looks nothing like anything else out there, and they're saying it's going to start at under 35 grand. If they can keep their price in check and figure out how to build these things at scale, I've got no doubt that they're going to be a big success, and they've officially made it on my list. So, congratulations, Canoe. Keep up the good work. And if you're looking to find out more, do yourself a favor and stop by the Canoe Discord channel.